Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here and welcome back to another video on Stargirl, and this will be my review slash breakdown for Stargirl Season 1 Episode 10, otherwise titled Brainwave Jr. Now before I get into the review and breakdown, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. And spoiler alert, in case you guys haven't caught up with Stargirl this season or you guys haven't watched this episode, you have been warned, since I'll be going into spoilers as I will be breaking down the episode bit by bit as I share you guys my overall thoughts on it. So anyways, this episode kicks off with another flashback, and this time 2 years in the past, and we have Pat and Barbara meeting each other for the very first time. And you can really see the chemistry between these two characters just from this scene. It was just very well handled. But Pat is obviously doing his thing with the ISA that our man left him, and Barbara is doing some paperwork for the sale of her mother's house, I think it was. But we then have those two sharing dessert because there was only one of it. So Barbara has this idea to share the dessert instead of just one of them having it, and this is where their relationship basically starts, and I think it was very well handled, as I said before. But we then cut to the scene where Barbara finds out about Pat and Courtney, which was a pretty nice parallel, and we're in the basement with the cosmic staff, and Pat explains to Barbara what's going on, and let's just say Barbara isn't too happy about this, and she yells at Courtney like a mother, and she just confronts Pat, and this was a really cool scene. And just that wasn't enough, Barbara also kicks Pat out of the house. But we then cut to Henry Jr. and his father, Henry Sr., and actually Henry Sr. has memory loss for the past 10 years, which was pretty interesting. And he doesn't remember things like his wife being dead, so Henry Sr. was basically struggling with these things, and it was a very emotional scene. And he also finds out that his son has his brainwave abilities as well, which was pretty cool. But I really liked how, these two were hugging it out afterwards. Like, it's the first time with us seeing that, especially that more human side of Brainwave Sr. I thought it was pretty emotional. But we then cut to Henry Jr. watching more of those tapes from his father, but only this time we get this tape of Brainwave talking about the death of his wife. Not just that, but we have him blaming Jordan, aka Icicle, as well for the death of the JSA, and we actually get the shocking reveal with Henry Jr.'s mother being Starman's sister. So it was just such a great reveal. But now Henry Jr. is pissed about the fact that Icicle is responsible for the death of his mother. We then have Jordan meeting Henry Sr. in the hospital, and he obviously finds out about his memory loss, so he's like, okay, come with me, Dr. Ito will fix you up. But not only that, he even tells Brainwave Sr. that it's time, he could power this weapon that they're planning for in just 6 days with the help of Brainwave. Now the cosmic staff knows that Icicle is still around, so it annoys Courtney at first, but Courtney doesn't go, she just stays in bed. Then it goes to the garage where Pat is and points at Icicle, in which we have the cosmic staff having its own mind, basically heading to the hospital and attacks Jordan and Henry Sr. Now we have Brainwave basically using his brainwave powers to freeze the cosmic staff, and we have Icicle literally freezing the cosmic staff by just holding it. So this is how the ISA get hold of the cosmic staff. But obviously Henry Jr. is a witness to all of this, and he sees Jordan taking the cosmic staff as well, and also sees his father going with the ISA. So he really has no choice but going to Courtney. Now Courtney obviously noticed that the cosmic staff is gone during the morning, so she goes up to her mother, but we get this reveal that Barbara actually wants to leave Blue Valley, so she tells Courtney to pack up. So this leads to Courtney going up to Pat in the garage and telling him everything that's been going on in the house. So Pat is heading to Barbara's workplace to sort his issues with her out. But we do then have Courtney on her way to school, and Henry Jr. actually uses his telekinesis to talk to Courtney inside her head. And basically Henry tells Courtney everything that happened, in which she finds out that the ISA have the cosmic staff. But more of an OMG moment is when Courtney finds out that Henry and her are quote-unquote cousins due to the whole Starman thing, which I still don't believe in, but let's just go along with it for now. We then cut to Barbara in her workplace, and she emails Sam Curtis, who's obviously Courtney's real dad. But not just that, she even does her own research on Starman, and we see her like zooming into the photos as well, so like she could see what that person really looks like. And it is hard to tell due to like being shadowed and stuff, but she's like, okay, this does kind of look like, you know, Sam Curtis. Now there are transitions going on, but for now I will stick to the Barbara scene because it will make more sense since I'm already talking about Barbara. So we have Pat then going on, and they talk about recent things that have happened, and he mentions that like she shouldn't be here. This is like the most dangerous place in town, in which we then have Jordan and his family enter Barbara's office, which I thought Jordan would see the picture of Starman and would do something like that, but no, it was all normal. But we have Jordan's family all speaking Norwegian, and we actually have Barbara secretly recording everything, so they find out what's really going on. And later on we do have Pat and Barbara in this cafe where they first met, and they translate what Jordan and his parents were saying in English, and we find out that they're working on this weapon to take control of people, which is really worrying Pat. So now Barbara is more of the side of Courtney and Pat, and this is I think what will lead her to allow Pat and Courtney to work on the superhero business, because they really do need it. Now adding on to that, we get an email from Sam Curtis, who's obviously Courtney's actual dad. It leads me to believe that we will actually see Sam Curtis next episode by the looks of it. But anyways, we're obviously at school, and we have the new JSA not on board with having Henry Jr. being part of the new JSA, and we have Rick and Henry fall out. But yeah, he is a very crucial person to the team, so Beth is more like, okay, let's just do this for Courtney, let's have Henry Jr. for now, because we do need him. So we have Henry Jr. joining the JSA. But we then have the JSA suit up, and they go down to the basement where the ISA bunker is. Now we have Rick and Beth going one way, and Courtney, Yolanda, and Henry going down the other way. So we have Rick encountering Solomon Grundy. So he wants to break through that door because obviously he's the one that killed his parents, and he just wants to beat Grundy up to death, in which he was struggling to tear through those doors, although he did bend it quite a bit. But Beth talks him out of doing it, so Rick promises Grundy that he'll be back, and I just would love to see Grundy versus Our Man. I think that would be sick. But we then have Courtney, Yolanda, and Henry going down to Dragon King's lair with Brainwave being tested on. Now Cindy is the person that exposes them, and we have a sick fight scene with those three and the Dragon King's henchmen. And seeing Henry just using his powers was pretty cool as well, but I loved Yolanda using her abilities as well as Wildcat. But we obviously have Dragon King versus Stargirl as well. Now at first Dragon King was having the upper hand until Yolanda the Goat is able to get hold of the cosmic staff and gives it to Courtney, and then Courtney like blasts Dragon King with it, in which we see what's under that hood for the very first time, and we see that like reptile like face, and it's frightening as heck. But Henry Sr. gets everything back and doesn't want to leave the area. He says, okay, this is my destiny, I am Brainwave. So we have Henry Jr. like use his powers to like push him away, and the new JSA attempt to escape the tunnel, in which Rick bends through those bars that we saw in the trailer and in the basement, so the JSA can go right through. Now Yolanda, Beth, Rick are able to go through, but Courtney and Henry are stuck because Brainwave stops them from going through. And we do have Henry actually save Courtney, and he uses his powers to bend those bars with the help of Rick, and he uses his powers to throw Courtney to the other side of the bars. But then Brainwave closes those bars again, so we're left with this intense scene with both brainwaves facing off each other. It was just such a great battle with both of them using their abilities, but the massive reveal was that Henry Sr. was actually the one that killed his own wife. So this entire scene was just so shocking, filled with twists, and it was just so emotional and just so intense as well. Now Henry Jr. knows that this is his end, kind of, and we have such an emotional scene where he apologizes to everyone, including Yolanda, and he also tells Courtney that she was right. I nearly bloody teared up in this scene because it was just so good. Just what a redemption with this character. But Brainwave Sr. obviously kills his own son and sandwiches him basically, and we're led to believe that he's dead, but I just don't believe he is dead. The thing with me is I never believe that someone is dead without actually seeing a body. So I don't know if we'll see Henry Jr. next episode, or maybe like we find out that he's alive during the finale, something like that. But for now, I don't believe that this guy is dead. But overall, this episode was hands down the best episode of the season. Not just that, but it was the best, one of the best episodes of DCTV history. It was just absolutely amazing. I was just speechless with this episode, especially with those endings, and I will give it a 10 out of 10. But yeah guys, this is pretty much it for this video. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys think about this episode. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.